This is a lesson for the song Everybody by the Backstreet Boys, but in a rock style. So we're going to play it a little differently from the actual song. We're playing this in A minor. If you want to play along with the song, you just move everything up one fret. So we're going to start off with the intro. So it's just some pick chords. So the first chord we're going to play is A minor. So your second finger will be in the second fret D string, your third finger will be on the second fret of the G string, and your first finger will be on the first fret of the B string. And then you'll be playing the open A and the open high E string as well, like this. Okay, so now we've got our chord down. What we're going to do is we're going to pick down all the way through the chord, okay? So we'll start on the A string, then the D, then the G, then the B, then the E, and then we're going to come all the way back up to the D string. Like that. Okay, and then we're going to move to our next chord, which is an F major chord. So for this chord, your third finger will be on the third fret of the A string. Your little finger will be tucked just behind on the third fret of the D string. Your second finger will be on the second fret of the G string. And then your first finger will be barred on the first fret of the B string and the high E string. Okay, so unlike the A minor chord, this one's just going to be a single strum. Okay, so if we put what we got together so far. Okay, and then the final chord of this intro is an E major chord. So your second finger will be on the second fret of the A string. Your third finger will be tucked behind again on the second fret of the D string. And your first finger will be on the first fret of the G string. Okay, and we're going to strum all of the strings for this. Okay, like this. So if we put it all together, remember the first chords can be picked. The second chord, the F major, and then the E major are just single strums down. Okay, let's do it. Okay, so once you've got that, the whole progression works 3 times. So after the third E major, you'll go back to the A minor, but it would be a single strum rather than picked. Okay, so it would be like this. Okay, so when you strum that and ring it out, you'll be counting up to the 1. Okay, so A minor will be 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on the next one, it will be a short kind of stab at the A minor. Like that. So that then brings us to the kind of riff before the verse. So this is a chromatic riff going down the neck, or up the neck, wherever you want to look at it, using some power chords. Okay, so it will start off on the A note, which is the 5th fret on the low E string. So we're going to put our first finger there, and then you can either use your third finger or your little finger on the 7th fret of the A string. It's really up to you how you play it. I use my little finger. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go all the way down to the F here on the 1st fret. So if I do it slowly for you, it would be 1, 2, just run through that quickly. So we'll have two kind of strums on the A, and they're kind of staccato, like that. And then the second one will be when it starts to go down. So we'll go down to the 4th fret, down to the 3rd fret, down to the 2nd fret, and then down to the 1st fret. And when you get to that 1st fret, you've already strummed the chord. You're going to hit it again like you did for the A minor, and then we're going to go up to the G and then to the E power chord. Okay, so the E power chord, slightly different shape. You're playing the low E, the 2nd fret of the A string, and then the 2nd fret of the D string. Okay, so that bit just there, we'll go through again. So it'll go. So if we put it all together, the riff will sound like this. So that happens twice, and then it goes into the verse. So for the verse, it's essentially pretty much the same, but we're going to just play single notes and we're going to palm mute it just to create a bit of dynamic change, because otherwise it's just going to kind of just sound like the riff we just played. Okay, so it's exactly the same notes, exactly the same rhythm, but we're just going to fret the kind of low E note for each one, and then we're going to palm mute it with our right hand. Okay, so again, it's the same rhythm, so it would just be. Okay, when you get down to the F, you can slide your 1st finger back up to the 3rd if you want, or you can use your little finger or your 3rd finger. It's really up to you. And then the final note will just be the low E. That's pretty much it for the verse. For the pre-chorus, we're going to play some funky chords. The first chord being A minor. Okay, and then to get this A minor chord, we're going to put our 1st finger on the 5th fret of the G string, the 5th fret of the B string, and the 5th fret of the high E string. And we're going to just split this into sections because it's kind of a funky rhythm. It's kind of difficult to get at first. We just need to kind of break it down a little bit. First one we're going to do is we're going to hit the chord on a downstroke, like that. Okay, and then we're going to go on the downstroke again, but mute the chord. Okay, so we're just playing the strings essentially. And then we're going to come back up on the upstroke. Okay, so if we just repeat that section. Okay, and then the next little bit will be muting on the upstroke and then playing the chord on the downstroke. Okay, so in terms of playing the chord, you'll be playing the chord on the downstroke, on the upstroke, and then the downstroke with mutes in between. Okay, so if we play it slowly. So if you keep repeating that, split it down into the section that we repeated, and then add the up mute and then the downstroke. If you keep repeating that, you'll gradually kind of get it. So the next chord is we'll play another triad, so we're going up to the F. So this is part of an F major chord, but just these 3 notes. So we're going to play it on the 10th fret of the D string, 10th fret of the G string, and the 10th fret of the B string. Okay, so it's going to be exactly the same rhythm, but slightly shorter. Okay, so it'll be. And then the final chord is going to be the E major chord where you're going to bar that first finger again on the 9th fret of the D string, 9th fret of the G string, 9th fret on the B string. So if we put that whole section together just to get a kind of idea of the structure of it, it would be like this. Pretty much the pre-chorus. It is very tricky to get the kind of funky strumming pattern down, but if you just kind of rewatch and split it down into different sections, you'll eventually be able to get it. All the pre-choruses, after we play the funky kind of chords, the A minor, the F, then the E, there'll be a slight kind of build up with tension, and to do that we will play the F major chords and then the G major chord. So we played the F major in the intro, so if we play that and then we're just moving that whole shape up 2 frets, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to palm mute it, so it'd be like this. Chorus is exactly the same as the riff that we played after the intro, the chromatic riff, like so. So we will play that riff 4 times and then we're going to drop out. And then if you're playing this in a band, then this is the time where you kind of get the audience involved, because it's the bit that says throw your hands up in the air and all that kind of audience interaction that you can do. So it'll be that bit, and then it comes back in with the pre-chorus, which is where we go back to the kind of funky chords. So if we just go through them again, it's the A minor, okay, and then it's so we went for the A minor to the F and then to the E. Again, same strumming pattern, and then it goes back into the chorus, which again is the riff we played after the intro. Okay. Then after that you have the outro where the chorus goes round quite a few times, and you can kind of do what you want with that. And to kind of finish it off when you're doing that chromatic rundown, you'll go kind of A up to the G, and then we're going to finish on the A minor. Okay, so it's slightly different then. So on the very last time you'll go and slow it down maybe. That's been Everybody by the Backstreet Boys. I hope you kind of learn a few new techniques from this. It's fairly simple, but the funky strumming part may just need a little bit of practice and getting the rhythm down. But it's a great song to play to people if you're in a covers band or functions band, or if you just want to play some cheesy pop at home. See you next week.